Dr. Stephen W. Hefner graduated from Qulin High School in Missouri in 1966 and Southeast Missouri State College in 1970 before beginning his career as a high school teacher near his family's farm in Missouri. On Christmas Eve 1970, he was drafted into the Army and stationed at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Upon receiving the Army Commendation Medal and an honorable discharge in 1973, he remained in the state and began his graduate studies at the University of South Carolina. Dr. Hefner served over 46 years in public education as a teacher, counselor, instructional leader, principal, and superintendent. In 1974, he joined Richland District 2 as a counselor at Spring Valley High School and moved to district administration 3 years later, where he oversaw numerous instructional programs and served as the interim principal at Richland Northeast High School. In 1994, Dr. Hefner was named superintendent, and during his 16 years as superintendent, enrollment grew from approximately 13,000 to more than 25,000 students. The number of schools and career centers increased from 15 to 36. Choice options and magnet programs were expanded. A world-class technology program was created, 8 schools were recognized as Palmetto's finest, and 11 schools were named National Blue Ribbon Schools. After retiring from Richland District 2, Dr. Hefner served as superintendent of Lexington-Richland District 5, opening 3 new schools, increasing the number of magnet programs, enhancing the technology infrastructure, and expanding 4K programs. During the 2019-2020 school year, he served as interim superintendent in Lexington District 3, helping to formulate plans for a successful bond referendum. Dr. Hefner was the first person to have been named South Carolina Superintendent of the Year twice by the South Carolina Association of School Administrators. His other significant honors include Distinguished Alumni Awards from both Southeast Missouri State University and University of South Carolina's College of Education, Magnet Schools of America National Superintendent of the Year, William B. Harley Administrator of the Year, Richland District 2's Order of the Flame, and the Order of the Palmetto, South Carolina's highest civilian honor. Active in many professional and service organizations at local and state levels, including serving as president of SCASA, he served on the Board of Governors for the American Association of School Administrators, served as chair of the Executive Board for the National Council for Learning and Civic Engagement, and was chosen as a Fulbright superintendent to Germany.
Please welcome to the stage Dr. Steve Hefner.
Well, it's true. On Christmas Eve, 1970, I received notice that I was being drafted into the Army. That was not the gift I had been hoping for. I thought that that was the worst thing ever and that my life was ending. I was not alone in that perspective. On the night before I left for the Army, a DJ at a local radio station informed his listeners repeatedly that the evening's program was dedicated to, quote, to Mr. Hefner, an English teacher at the high school who will be reporting to the Army tomorrow, probably to end up in Vietnam, probably to be killed, and probably never to return home to Poplar Bluff. On that cheery note, I left town and loved a life that I truly loved. Once I survived basic training, I found that serving in the Army was meaningful and rewarding. Instead of having a horrific ending for me, it was the beginning of something greater than I could ever have imagined. In retrospect, it's clear to see that being drafted was a divine intervention. The Army brought me to Fort Jackson. Thanks to the GI Bill, I was able to attend graduate school at USC. And Lana and I were able to secure jobs in Richland too. It wasn't long before we realized that God's providential hand had placed us in South Carolina and in the land of educational giants. The significance of giants in our lives cannot be overstated. When lauded for his achievements some 350 years ago, Sir Isaac Newton said, quote, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulder of giants." Be assured that I know I am no Sir Isaac Newton, but whatever contributions I have made to public education have been made possible only because God afforded me the opportunity to stand on the shoulders of giants. So as I accept this honor, I am especially appreciative to the giants on whose shoulders I have stood, and to those giants for whom I have worked, for those giants who were my colleagues, for those giants that I hired and supervised, for those many students, parents, and community and board members who always pushed me to see further and entrusted me to do my best work. And most of all, to my wife Lana, our daughters Megan and Channing, and our friends. Thank you. Their love and support has always been unfailing and beyond gigantic. Thanks for the wonderful recognition that I have received this evening, and may each of you be blessed with many giants in your lives. And always remember that sometimes when we initially see something as being the worst thing ever, it just might actually turn out to be a divine intervention. Thank you.